He is given the title of Caesar from the first moment. Constantine the Great governs as emperor. Power is secured by force in the early 4th century, when his father's army proclaims him ruler. What matters now is control, not legality. The army decides the empire, and hesitation means removal. Constantine understands immediately that legitimacy will not protect him. Only speed, control, and force will. The Roman world he steps into is exhausted. The tetrarchic system still exists in name, but it has fractured power instead of stabilizing it. Authority no longer comes from institutions or tradition. It flows through armies, money, and the promise of victory. Emperors are no longer chosen by law, but by proximity to armed men. Constantine does not try to revive a system that has already failed. He accepts the rules of the moment and decides to master them. His first moves are pragmatic and unsentimental. Consolidates control in Gaul and along the Rhine frontier, not to expand the empire, but to remove uncertainty behind him. Germanic groups along the frontier are dealt with decisively. Some are defeated in open battle, others forced into submission. The goal is not conquest, but clarity. The army learns that this is a commander who does not hesitate, does not bargain from weakness, and does not retreat without reason. He pays his soldiers reliably, rewards success, and appears personally present in command. Loyalty shifts away from abstract Rome and toward the man who delivers results. This loyalty matters because Constantine is still one claimant among many. Across the empire, rival emperors and pretenders compete for recognition. Among them, Maxentius controls Italy and Rome itself. Rome may no longer be the administrative center of the empire, but it remains the most powerful symbol of legitimacy. Whoever controls Rome can claim continuity with the past. Constantine understands that as long as Maxentius holds the city, his own position will remain contested. In 312, the decision is made to move south. The Alps stand as the barrier between survival and collapse. Crossing with fewer troops is not reckless, it's deliberate. Speed is used as a weapon to force political collapse. Cities in northern Italy are given no time to wait and see who wins. They must decide quickly. Many open their gates without fighting. Others are defeated fast. Verona, one of Maxentius' strongest positions in the north, is defeated, breaking organized resistance in the region. The campaign advances faster than expected, and Maxentius withdraws into Rome, relying on walls, numbers, and confidence that Constantine will not dare to challenge him directly. As Constantine approaches Rome, the conflict takes on a dimension beyond simple military rivalry. In the days leading up to the decisive battle, Constantine publicly associates himself with a Christian symbol. Contemporary sources differ in their accounts of how this occurred and what Constantine experienced personally, but they agree on the result. He presents himself under a sign that marks a clear departure from traditional pagan imagery. At this stage, Christianity is still a minority faith, often persecuted and excluded from power. But it possesses something the old religious system lacks: organization, discipline, and unity under a single trans-regional authority. Whatever Constantine's personal belief at this moment, the political effect is unmistakable. He aligns himself with a growing, cohesive community his rivals do not control. The Battle of the Milvian Bridge is short, violent, and decisive. When Constantine's forces gain the advantage, panic spreads through Maxentius's army. Retreat turns into chaos. The temporary bridge over the Tiber collapses under pressure. Soldiers drown as they attempt to flee. Maxentius himself dies during the rout, later recovered from the river. His death ends the conflict instantly. The fighting stops, and his head is shown in public as proof the war is over. Rome submits, not because it is convinced, but because resistance is ended. Constantine enters Rome without celebration. He does not pretend to restore the old order. Instead, he dismantles what remains of its political danger. The Praetorian Guard, an elite unit that has made and unmade emperors for centuries, is dissolved outright. There is no reform, no compromise, no gradual transition. An institution that threatens imperial control is eliminated. Power is centralized, simplified, and stripped of rivals. One of Constantine's first acts after securing Rome is to end the persecution of Christians. The Edict of Milan, issued jointly with Licinius in 313, legalizes Christianity, and restores confiscated property. This is not an act of modern religious tolerance. It is a strategic integration. Christian communities gain protection, legal standing, and access to imperial authority. In return, they become tied to the stability of Constantine's rule. Faith becomes infrastructure. Belief becomes part of governance. At this stage, the empire is still divided. Licinius controls the eastern provinces. Publicly, the two emperors present themselves as partners. Laws are issued jointly. Unity is performed. Even family ties are used to reinforce the appearance of cooperation. Two powers control massive armies and command loyalty across the empire. Both understand the arrangement is temporary. Tension rises as coexistence hardens, and preparation quietly replaces negotiation. Conflict is anticipated, not declared. Licinius begins adopting policies that are increasingly hostile to Christian communities in parts of the Eastern Empire. The scope and intensity of these actions vary by region and source, but the political message is clear. Licinius is asserting independence from Constantine's ideological alignment. The alliance is breaking down. In a system already shaped by civil war, this is not a disagreement that can be negotiated away. War resumes on a larger scale than before. Roman armies fight Roman armies across the Balkans and Asia Minor. The cost is immense. Cities are drained of resources. Supply lines are stretched. The empire bleeds itself internally. Constantine does not rely on dramatic maneuvers or singular brilliance. He relies on consistency, logistics, and pressure. Engagement after engagement goes his way. Licinius retreats repeatedly, losing authority and credibility with each defeat. Eventually, Licinius is defeated completely and captured. He is spared briefly, then executed. The decision is not personal, it is structural. Mercy offers no stability. Constantine becomes the sole ruler of the Roman Empire, the first in decades to hold uncontested authority. The civil wars end, not because peace has been achieved, but because no rivals remain alive to continue them. With power secured, Constantine does not attempt to revive the old Roman system. He understands it is finished. The Senate survives only as ceremony. Rome survives only as a symbol. Real power has moved east, closer to wealth, population, and defensible frontiers. Constantine acts accordingly. He reestablishes Byzantium as Constantinople, designing a capital built for control, defense, and longevity. Its position commands trade routes between Europe and Asia. Its fortifications are layered. Constantine also restructures the empire administratively and ideologically. Authority is centralized. Succession is framed through dynasty rather than illusion. Christianity is no longer merely protected but woven into imperial identity, providing a unifying framework stronger than decaying tradition. The empire becomes something new, neither fully Roman in the old sense nor purely religious, but rigid, disciplined, and durable. In his final years, Constantine no longer campaigns constantly. The system holds, but the strain is visible. He has not created harmony, he has created stability through control. When he dies in 337, the structures he built remain, but the man who enforced them is gone. The empire will fracture again, but it will never return to what it was before him. Constantine does not save Rome. He transforms it under pressure, using force, alignment, and realism. He leaves a world changed forever, politically, religiously, geographically. His legacy is not peace or virtue. It is durability in an age where collapse was the default outcome. Drop a like, share, and subscribe for more sharp stories about power, knowledge, and destiny. Thank you for watching.